Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the last episode of this War in the East 2 editor tutorial mini-series. And in this one we talk about the last topic that I never covered before, which is the event editor. And as a brief reminder, you can only access the event editor from the old tutorial, the old editor by clicking here. And again, let's say the right-hand side section of the editor is quite familiar because we have again here the list and we have some buttons over here. And let me start straight at the beginning by saying that in the event editor, the insert and delete buttons do work, so you can use them if you want to remove or introduce new events. If you want to add new events, simply you can click over here to add a new game event, or you can select any of these, of the existing ones, and you can click on insert, and in this case it will introduce a new event line above the selected event or selected line. And also here, I have to say a couple of things about the load and the save. In War in the East 2, there is just one universal event CSV file. If you click on save and you are working on multiple scenarios, please remember to make a backup copy of the saved file. Otherwise, if you work on scenario A, you save your event list, and then you load scenario B and you load the recently saved event CSV file, it will load the event file of scenario A. So keep this into account. And to show you where the file is this one here. Game events is always called game events, and if you, as I said, if you load a new scenario and you save the event file of the new scenario, it will overwrite whatever is saved in this folder over here. The events are quite straightforward. Here you click and you set the event, like test event. Tag. The tagging system works precisely just like the units. Here you can either pick a new pick any tag from the existing ones, or you can click over here and you can add a new tag. And if you click over here, you again set the color to whatever you like. And oops, exactly. No, so now it's tagged with the test tag. Description is quite intuitive. Here you type the event description. There you go. And if you want to add a new line, you have to type this cr new line like this. And if you want to have an extra space, you simply type double this empty line like this. Yeah, pretty much intuitive, let's say. Here we have the not really the triggers, but some conditions, let's say. Any event has to be activated, otherwise it will not fire. Date and expire date. Date refers to the very first date after which this event can fire, and expire date is the last possible date after which the event will never fire anymore. And you always have to start with the year. Let's say July 20th, and this event expires on let's say December 28th. So in this case, this event can only be fired between July 20th and December 28th, 1941. Visible to, if you click, you can choose between Axis only, Soviet only, both, or none. Let's say that is visible to both, and then we have check phase. Now, there are, let's say, some check phases which, in my opinion, do not work. Like on city capture, I tried a couple of times and it never works. I don't know why, as well as the air planning and the air execution. I think because from what I have understood, you cannot dictate whether this is the air plan, the Axis air planning, or the Soviet air planning. So I think these, let's say, check phases are here, but they simply don't work. If you want to have an event appearing at the beginning of your campaign, click on Scenario Load, or you can choose between On Turn Start, and this will automatically check whether it is either the Axis or the Soviet, or you can specify whether it is the Axis turn start or the Soviet, or the Axis logistics phase or the Soviet logistics start. Probability simply indicates the chance of the event firing. If you set it to 0, the event will never happen. Of course, you cannot set it to 0, but you can choose between 1 and I would say 99, because if you set it to 100, okay, 100 means that the event will fire for sure. And the event will fire for sure even if you don't type anything and you leave this as no check. Now, this one here, recurrence, it acts as a binary value. So it's either 0 or 1, even though it says here 0 to 250. Now, recurrence means that once this event has fired, this event will keep firing until either the expire date has been reached or the conditions are no longer true. Don't be tricked by saying, oh, I want this event from, let's say, firing for the first 3 turns. No, it doesn't work like that. If you type number 3, this event will fire as soon as you hit, for instance, the July 20th date, and then it won't fire anymore. If you want it to constantly firing, then you have to set it the recurrence to 1. And yeah, if you have any questions, please ask me in the comment section here below. Conditions. Besides setting the date and maybe the recurrence, you want to add some additional conditions. And if you click here, you have to pick objects. And the list of conditions is very intuitive. In this scenario, you can check if you have the date, turn, player, year, month, day, Axis event victory points, Soviet events victory points, or the number of APs for the Axis and for the Soviets. If you select units, now in the conditions region, you can either type the name of the unit or you can type the ID of the unit, so the number. And for instance, let's type the 10th Panzer Division. Exactly, so 187. And if you click on 187, exactly, now it appears the Panzer Division. And for the unit, you can check if it's active. You can if the unit has a delay, if it is in any of the tier boxes, and here you need again the association between the numbers and the relative tier boxes, or you can say if the unit is locked or not in a specific tier box. And let's say I won't go through all of them, but air group behaves just like the units. Location, you have to type the name of the location, like Moscow, for instance, and you can check if Moscow is owned by either by the Axis, in this case 1, or by the Soviets, equals to 2. And you see here now it says check true in green. And now this means that when Moscow is held by the Soviet player, this event will fire. And this is just to give you an example. Nation, you can check if a nation has surrendered or not. Tier box, you can check if you have a specific, if it's active, if there is a specific value of the ground combat, or if you have some specific requirements for that specific tier box. Map region, you can set if the region belongs to any tier box, if it's under Axis, Soviet, or Western Allies control, or if it's off map. And game event, if the event is active, if the event has the probability of, or if the event is triggered in a specific year, month, day, or and so on and so forth. Yeah. And of course, you can combine multiple conditions, and you can check, for instance, if you want to have, I would say, exclusive conditions, or I would say cumulative conditions. For instance, let's imagine we pick the turn, that is any turn before turn 28, which is true. And we want to have the 10th Panzer Division, I think it was 187 exactly, on the map, tier box map. So now this is true. And here you see that you have the end modifier and, sorry, the operator. If you click on OR, now the event will fire even if, let's say, now you set that the scenario has to be either on turn 28 or any turn past turn 28. Now, when you set OR, you only need one of the conditions to be true in order to the event to be fired. And just remember that. And last but not least, we have the actions. So once the event has fired, what shall the event do? And we have scenario. Here you set either you increase the number of victory points related to this event for the Axis or the Soviets, or you can you can modify the AP for the Axis and for the Soviets, and you can even set them to a specific value. You can add APs, or you can remove APs from the existing pool. Units. Here is where the tagging function of the units comes pretty handy, because either you manually type the ID of the unit, or you tag your units. And by tagging the units, you click on these two single air quotes, and you type, for instance, Finnish Expeditionary Corps, exactly. And you see now in brackets there is the number 3, because if we go to the units tab and we go to tagged and we look for these are the 3 units that belong to the Finnish Expeditionary Corps tag. And so in the event editor it will look like this. And when you select a unit, you can either set the delay, change the theater box, you can lock the unit in the theater box, and you can even disband it. Now, the disband option. If a unit is set to be disbanded, like, let me see if there are any axes, like the Carpathian Hungarian army. Actually, no, this is set to remove. Let me see if there are some disbanding units. Oh yes, there are plenty of them. Disbanding, like the 1st Slovak Infantry Division. If a unit is set to be disbanded, like in this case on turn number 7, let me see if the 1st Slovak oh god, 1st Slovak in... Okay, let's use the new editor, because I'm... Oh, come on, where is that? Slov, okay, Slov dot. And okay, this is set to be disbanded on turn number 7. So a unit that is set to disband to false, and even if a unit is set to be disbanded on a specific turn, if you change this to disband set to false, this will not work. Like, the unit will be disbanded anyway. So just keep this into account. Besides the units, we have the air group that works precisely like the unit tab. We have the location, and in this case, we have to type either you type the name or you type the ID of the location. And here you can set the damage to the factories in that location. And all factory damage, here you can either set it to, you can add a specific damage, or you can set it to, let's say, to the roll of a dice to have the probability of having a damage, in this case, of 50%. I'd never understood how does this work, so what I would recommend is always use the set to, because now with this you're sure that in this case Moscow will receive 50% of damage to all of the factories of course in Moscow. And then we have the nation. You can set let's say Romania or Hungary. Then you can set if the nation has surrendered, you can set the damage. You can damage the all of the Hungarian factories. In this case, you can check for the ground damage. I don't know what this is. But here you have the other factories: heavy industry, vehicle, resources, oil, fuel, and so on and so forth. And then you can check, you can add some partisan attack. You can always have it set it to add, and I think the maximum value is 99, because if you type it to one, oh, actually you can type to 100. Can I type to 110? No, exactly. 100 is the maximum. Then you have the manpower pool if you want to add a specific amount of manpower. And in this case, the manpower indicates the physical number of men. So if you say manpower pool add 100, it will literally add 100 men in the Hungarian manpower pool. And then you can change here the ground morale, the air morale, and the navy morale, which are basically these here: the ground morale modifiers, the air morale modifier, and the naval morale modifier. And here you can change the percentage of the production of manpower, armament points, vehicles, supplies, and so on and so forth. I want to say, make it clear, this is a value expressed in percentage. So if you type 100, this event will increase by 1% the in this case the production of Hungarian manpower. If you want to set it to 10%, then you have to type 1000, and of course the maximum is 10,000, because 10,000 divided by 100 is 100. If you set it to 20,000, it will not work. And besides nation, here comes the hex, and this is also where the tagging of the hexes comes into play. I don't know if you remember, but let me quickly change the keyboard setting, and of course it doesn't work. Let me see. Okay, exactly. So where is it? I think it's tile. No, I think it was scenario then. Okay, now it's gonna take forever now to load this. Yes. Hex. No. Okay, yes, right. So the tag, and if we have which event? Okay, this test. Okay. And if we click on test, exactly, now it says, just like the units tag, here we have number 1, because we only have one hex tagged with the tag test. And here you can say whether this hex is on map or off map. And then we have the tier box, and in this case we can call it Western Europe. I don't think you can set the map as a tier. No, exactly. you cannot set it because the map has tier box number 0, so you cannot select the map tier box. And here you can say whether the tier box is active. You can change the ground combat or the air combat. You can indicate the percentage of ground elements which will be evacuated, or the same is true for the air, or the percentage of ground elements which will be destroyed. And here you set the defense requirement for the ground, air, the night air, and the naval components, let's say, of the theater box. And the map region refers to the regions of the map, and let's say Kalinin. And again, the regions of the map can be seen. I think it's no regions, exactly. Here you have all the regions on the map with their respective numbers, ID numbers. And this is interesting. So this somehow works almost like the nation, let's say, option. Where is it? Let's say, yeah, almost like the nation in terms of damage to factories. You can also set whether this region now belongs to a specific tier box or not, or you can even set it off map, or you can change the control, or sorry for the many ors. This is the most interesting one. Here you can set the interdiction or the partisan attacks. Now the recon and the rail use again do not work. I tested multiple times, they simply do not work. And interdiction in this case refers to the air interdiction. The maximum value, I think, is again 99. I thought it was 100 again. But air interdiction is basically this one here. And you can read the manual about the effects of air interdiction, but this basically slows down the movement of the units. Now, if you are playing against the AI and you don't want the AI you want to prevent the AI from teleporting its units on the map, this could be a nice, let's say, escamotage that you can use to do this. So you can play with, I don't know, morale of 200 to boost, I don't know, the Soviet or the Axis AI. But if you want to prevent the Soviet or the Axis AI from redeploying its troops at will on the map, you can basically set all of the regions. I know it's going to be a long event, but you can set all of the existing regions with either an Axis interdiction or a Soviet interdiction set to 10. Interdiction is always divided by 10 and then rounded down. Because if you have an air interdiction of 1, the AI will not use the administrative movement and will be forced to, let's say, slowly but surely redeploy its units based on the amount of movement points, and not just because it's the AI with morale above 120. Well, if you want to set a scenario like this, simply say this is below 250, and if you want to have it, if you're playing as this Soviet player, you have to set it during the Axis logistic start. If you're playing as the Axis, you have to set this during the Soviet logistic start. And always remember that air interdiction works on the enemy occupied hexes, not on the friendly ones. And then we do have game events, and this is pretty simple because we can set here the either the ID of the event or the name of the event. And here you can say whether the event is active. We can change the probability of the event from firing. We can set the year, the month, the day. You can change the expiring year, the month, or the day. We can change the date. In this case refers to this one. So the I call it the activation date. Or you can set the date of the event. And this is, let's say, the way to, sorry, where is it? I think I was wrong about it. So here actually is not set, but it's change. When you want to change the date of an event, this is how you push forward or you push backward the events related to World War II, like the Axis campaign in North Africa. Let me find it. Yeah, like this one here, like Axis grand success in North Africa. You see here, when you are above, in this case, the 100 ground defense percentage value, and when you are, let's say, after the 7th of July 1941, there is a 25% chance of this event firing, and this event will push forward, from my understanding, the events of the North African campaign. This, I don't know what does it mean, and this means that it will push forward by 3 days the events of the Italian campaign. Here, these values always refer to the days and not to the turns / weeks. So if you want to push the events forward by 1 week, you have to set it to 7. And in this case, this will push the event Axis captured Leningrad by 1 week. And I think the last one is okay, strategic bombing from, I think this, I never used it. Let's try. From Germany. No, I think it's from the no. I think, yeah, so from refers to the air base. From I think it's, let's say, Norwich. Yeah, exactly, like from Norwich. And you can set here damage factories, and here you can set the damage, the radius, and how many raids you want in this specific location. Radius, I think we can set it right to 10. Number of raids, just 2. And strategic bomb targets, let's say 5. Bomb damage, say 20. And yeah, in this case, this will attack the heavy industry. I still don't know where to find the list of targets. So maybe if you play around with the events, with the bombing events, like of course I forgot. Here it's a very nice search function. And here you can set the title, the text, or even the tag, like the Royal Air Force raids. And here, yeah, here you see the an example of these events, let's say. And yes, that's all for this tutorial, folks. I know maybe this was a bit rushed, but I didn't want to make it too long to avoid annoying you with this. And well, I hope this kind of provided some inputs for you modders of War in the East 2. And as always, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section here below. I wish you all the best, and well, I hope to see you all in my grand campaigns.